Ian Fosbury's here, folks. We can get started. I've been waiting for 15 minutes for him to figure out his goddamn POS audio-visual setup. He's coming at us with the technology.
19 minutes.
Folks, never doubt that Ian Thelonious Fosbury is precision embodied. Here he is, hailing all the way from sunny Canada, joining us through time and space for another episode of Yelling at Robots, episode 11. Action!
Get ready. It's time for world-famous Yelling at Robots, starring tech legend Joshua Raphael Reynolds and Ian Thelonious Fosbury. The show starts now.
All right, folks, we got a packed show for you today, and we're going to try to keep our record down to 1 hour. Daddy's,
Did you start recording again?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I'm not looking. I'm just
Don't kill my flow, bro. All right, folks, we got a packed show for you today. We released our first coding episode last week, and we will follow up and reflect on that with some exciting news related. We'll talk about the continued chaos, magic, and slopification of all of the internet, all of the software that runs the internet, and how it's all just crumbling to pieces. And finally, we'll follow up, or we'll end with a really uplifting topic of anxiety and disconnection in the engineering space. I mean, I guess, is it limited to the engineering space, or is it...
No, I think anxiety is not just in engineering. I think it's everybody's feeling it.
Yeah, anything before we get into it you want to share with the peeps?
I don't think so. No. Let's
okay.
party.
Well, let's get cracking then.
Yeah.
Question: what did we learn building yellingatrobots.com? Answer: jack shit.
All right, up first, our coding episode retro. We actually shipped and shared us doing something on the screen.
We did.
Well, we did. Was it good? Fuzz.
I don't know.
Was it good?
I don't know.
Did you watch it? First question, did you watch it?
I did watch it. I'd watched it a couple times. I also vibe edited it.
You watched it a couple times,
pass.
so it must have been good then.
Well, no, I was trying to make sure that I thought about it enough to talk about it. But it was fine.
It was.
I think there was there's a few things that I just want to address, really.
Okay, well, hold on. Because what really happened, folks, what Foz really did was he watched this episode twice so he could find all of the things that he did wrong or all of the things in his head that were wrong to make sure to correct himself, because it's physically painful for him to have that out.
I didn't like it. I wanted to do some. I want
to give you a hug so bad right now.
I wanted to do some text overlays, which I think I sent to you, Josh, but I wasn't gonna.
I just ignored all your messages this week.
Yeah. This was weeks ago.
Okay.
I did send them. I'm scrolling through our DMs.
Oh, I remember.
Right now.
It's things like, well, Foz is an idiot and got this wrong. No, I'm not putting that on there. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. That was funny when I was trying to figure out. So there was a few things I did, which is like a couple things for those of you at home, if you who are definitely watching that screencast to learn about how to be a better engineer. When you type a command, and it gives you a hint about where things might be or what you're trying to do, you should read it. That's the first tip. First hot tip. Where I was like, I'm pretty sure the skills are somewhere. And it was like, no, these skills are definitely in this directory. And I was like, I don't know where they are. It's weird. I can't find them. That was one thing. And then the other thing, when I was like, I mansplained to you about how that superpowers skills, which I don't use anymore. I switched to something else, but it will do sub-agent work for you. And then instead of doing that, when you said, hey, fire up another agent, I just went and made a new directory.
It's fine. It's all good. And by the way, you're the only person.
Does this guy even know how to computer?
You do know how to computer. You know how to computer real good. And the real reality is that we're all computering at different degrees of certainty and fuckery, and it's not about that. So, of course. Were mistakes made? Of course. But that's not why folks are watching. They're watching us to yell at the clankers and... Well, actually... surprisingly, and here's where... I mean, my most shocking factoid to come out of this is like... That episode has been watched. Like that anyone. Maybe all of the analytics are Foz.
Maybe that probably is true, but also too, I think it was the thumbnail. I think it was the thumbnail. That was a good thumbnail, buddy.
What was the thumbnail again?
It's 28 days later reference.
Oh, yeah, 28. That was a good one. I'm having fun.
Everyone who has watched it or watched part of it, I don't know if they got through the entire thing. We haven't looked at the analytics yet. They probably didn't. They all refer to it as like, oh, I just saw that new one that you guys released with all the blood all over your face. Yeah. Sick.
Sweet.
So good, man.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, we successfully built the website. We never shipped it anywhere. We had a lot of fun. I've never actually seen the built website running. Maybe you can share what the clankers.
So is it GHC?
GHC. Well, no, I think you run it.
Oh,
with
no.
Stack.
There was a run. It made a run. It made a run shell because it was helpful.
Oh, isn't that
didn't
nice?
Make me do it. Thanks, robot.
Well, it knows it's like you're not going to know how to run freaking.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so
Haskell
port
code,
3000, baby, localhost, and how basic, right? But we got something running. We got something running.
Now,
Right,
it
and I
might
think
be
that-
basic, but it is so functional. It is monoid complete.
So-
it is, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that blew my mind about this, because I've never done Haskell before, and also too, when you think about it, if you're building a static site, you probably don't need that much code. But in my mind, I was like, we spent all that time installing GHC. We spent all that time with the robot being like, make it work, figure it out. Oh yes, we got it working, Haskell. And there's literally 80 lines of code.
Wow, Haskell is a very succinct language, you know? It's like...
Yeah. Ooh, white space. I don't
Wow,
like that.
and it's just, it looks like it, so it hard-coded the episodes. Okay. I think the robot also probably struggled with Haskell and was just like, I can't really figure out how to do strings.
Don't we all?
It's too hard. Too hard to do I/O. And then it's just essentially, it looks like Haskell syntax to express literal HTML.
Yeah. It just loops over a list and outputs that on the page. Done.
Beautiful. Yep. Looks good.
Oh, looks good. So we finished that, and then weeks went by, and Josh edited the episode at my request because I was very excited to critique myself. No, because in the meantime,
okay. Sorry.
Josh had something going on. Josh had something cooking in the background.
I didn't tell Ian. Well, the juice was cooking because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull it off.
And what did you pull off, Josh?
I acquired our domain. I went to an auction. I saw that our domain, yellingatrobots.com, was up for auction. When we first started this podcast, this domain was being asked for, like, I think it was $1,500, and I was like, F that, and then we bought robot.gripe, and then I don't even know why I was there, but like I could maybe. Periodically, I'm obsessively looking for our domain. I'm like, I wish we could have yellingatrobots.com. And I looked at it, and there was an auction. And I'm like, well, I don't know how high I'm willing to go, but I'm going to take a shot at it. But I didn't want to tell Ian until we had won.
And we got it.
And not only that.
We got it.
We got it for $1. Now, this is either a testament to the failure of this podcast as a piece of content, or just the inattentiveness of whatever other cyber squatting robots are out there acquiring domains. But we still got it. We freaking got it.
And then Josh one-shotted this beautiful, beautiful website. I would like to compliment
it was
him
really
on that.
four or five shots, but still,
either way,
pretty beautiful.
My favorite part about it is the responsiveness in that if you were to go on mobile. Oh, wait, did you fix it? Oh, no.
Sorry, bro.
There. That's nice. Yes.
Oh,
See?
okay, yeah.
CSS is hard, guys.
I mean,
CSS is hard.
Yeah. CSS is definitely
hard.
hard. CSS is hard. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, so
Anyways.
we've got a website, yellingatrobots.com.
We've got a website, and it's beautiful. And one question for Josh. Where's the code, man? Is this you forcing me out of the podcast now that you've got the website and you got the domain?
The code, is it not pushed to our Yelling at Robots?
Did you put it up?
I think so.
I don't think so. Is it?
I don't know. Let's take a look.
Yelling at robots repositories. Oh, there is 3.
Oh.
Robot.grabs. Oh, no, there's not.
Here, let
No. 3
yeah,
is
let
one
me,
is our
I-
new. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just on autopilot. And actually, we'll probably move this. You know, I had been using
No, don't tell them where it is. Don't tell them where it is. Not in this day and age. Don't tell them where our website is. Don't tell anybody.
Man, security through obscurity is no security at all, boss. Let's see. So I'm gonna settings. Transfer ownership. Choose an owner. Yelling at robots. Yes. Yelling at. Okay. My favorite part about doing this live at robots.com is just forcing passphrase is forcing Riverside to just waste storage. F you, Riverside. You fucking pieces of Riverside. I mean, it's the podcast platform everybody
It's
loves.
the preferred platform of podcasters.
It's the least platform, but it's still but it's the least. Okay, transferred.
Yeah.
Long story short, yellingrobots.com. Check it out.
.com.
Yellingrobots.org and .net. Up for grabs, folks. You can squat those and try to steal our identities, no problem. And I encourage that. I look forward to seeing what you come up with, because it's not as easy as it looks, my friends.
It's true. It is. I'm just going to give this a quick wipe. Sorry.
Oh, great. Awesome.
Feels a little.
Let's see. Oh, folks, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Wow.
I was like, I look a little
Holy-
hazy.
That would almost be worth going back to the beginning of the episode, but not. But, folks, the lesson here is when your face is covered in oil and you're using your phone as a camera, try cleaning off your camera lens first.
Whoops.
Whoops. Well, you know what the important thing is? You look great now.
Good news. There's a hot new version of your favorite software library. Less great news. It's loaded with parasites.
And then, of course, the other big news is you've got worms. So, yeah.
So another
Folks,
Shai
we-
Hulud attack. For those of you who don't know what a worm is a sort of virus or attack or whatever you want to call it that is self-replicating in that it worms its way through your computer and other computers and spreads like f***ing wildfire. This. So what happened? We woke up on, I don't remember what day it was, like Tuesday or something.
It's been a long few days for a lot of people. Actually.
Yeah, a very, very popular set of JavaScript libraries and TypeScript libraries called the TanStack. TanStack, which I've used. Wonderful. So much better than all the other
I've heard lots
React
of good
libraries.
things about it. Never
It's
had
great.
the opportunity to use it.
It's excellent. I've only used it a little bit, but like I had to make a change to a code base that was using it. I'd never used it before. I was able to make that change so quickly because it was so like profoundly obvious how it works, how simple the change was. It was great. Anyways,
It's popular for a reason.
yeah, it's probably for a reason. Some attackers got in there. I can't remember exactly how it worked. It was probably another.
It was cache poisoning on GitHub, and then they sidewound their way. And I mean, like again, this is
and it was
pushing
another pre-post install hook attack, which seems to be the way it goes these days. But so the crazy thing about it, there's a few crazy things about this story. The attack itself was, the usual shit. But it worked its way, I think by the afternoon, it was already into the Python ecosystem, that's crazy because it's jumping across languages now. And I think this is unconfirmed, but later that day, Ruby Gems shut down all new signups and was dealing with some other hot madness. And that seemed too coincidental for me to not believe that it had something to do with this. So anyways, this thing was spreading across across languages. And what it was doing was the usual thing where it was like installing either on developer computer, on any machine, and it was trying to harvest
Any machine it could. Any machine it could get its
could.
little tendrils, its little
Yeah,
wormy teeth into, burrowing
and it
into
was-
the soft, juicy bits.
And it was harvesting tokens and secrets and passwords and whatever it could get its
I'm
hands
hungry
on,
for credentials. I'm hungry for
Yeah.
wallets.
and sending them off to wherever it should. But the coolest thing, cool if it didn't happen to you, was that this thing had a what you would call a dead man switch installed.
Yeah, this is
in
pretty
your
sweet.
machine. You got to respect him. You got to respect him for this one.
Also, Dead Man Switch just sounds cool.
Yeah, so what that is it installed another script on any machine it infected, depending on if it was Mac OS but I know how to look for it on Mac OS. I'm not sure if the Linux implementation did this too. But it set up a background process that would run this script over and over. And what the script did was first it would harvest the GitHub token, send that off, and then it would use the credentials on the machine to continually ping the GitHub API to make sure that token was still valid. And if you went and revoked that token, this script would get a 404 for that token and immediately return RF user directory, which for those of you who don't know, that is the delete files command on your computer for your entire user directory.
But let me tell you, Fuzz, let me tell you why I appreciate that.
Go for it.
Well, they didn't remove the whole system. So, they're just like, they were like, hey, you can still use your computer. You don't get any files,
Unless you were running it as root.
but root is in a root, but root's not like in the root of the actual file system, right?
That's a good question, actually.
Well, I don't think so. I think
it was returning
/root, I think.
Yeah, but if you're running as root, does the system, when you reference tilde, does it reference the root folder?
I think it's /root. I don't think it's the actual slash.
Okay.
I don't think it's slash. I don't think.
I'm not 100% sure either. My Linux skills are not up to date, or my Mac OS skills. But either way, yeah, they left you some files.
Oh yeah, they left you some
pieces.
they left you some temp files,
Some pieces to pick up your life.
Yeah, the worms are worming their way through the internet, causing all sorts of death and destruction. It makes me... It's just more fear and anxiety being injected into the entire industry of making software. It's astonishing. And we'll get to that. We'll kind of close out with talking about anxiety. But yeah, this is a major contributor. Like, I'm completely rethinking my relationship. It used to be that it's like, here's a new tool. Interesting. I'll just throw it in there and check it out. And then now it's like, guess what? That interesting new library that you wanted to test out has stolen your life and ruined all the things and propagated
I'm not
itself.
even like... Yeah, I'm there, but I'm also, we've talked about this. It's like, I'm like, fuck, I gotta get off all the things and like...
Oh, what things?
Make a firewall in my own home and like make it, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, don't connect anything to anything.
Oh, that's
right
true.
now.
So Ian has
I'm
gone
getting
a little
into full
maybe,
Doom prepper. Like,
Ian's become essentially like the internet savvy equivalent of a Doom prepper. Which is just like, what you can't see behind the cabinet, it's filled with cans of beans and tomatoes.
That's what that whole thing is. It's not a Murphy bed. It's not a Murphy bed. It's just food.
It's just beans and tomatoes. Why his kids are always being like, why only beans and tomatoes, Papa? And he's like, it's nutritionally dense, you little pieces of shit. Oh, he's a great father, though. So wrapping that up. Just more chaos, more security chaos roiling through the systems. This, however, has also really, to me, this is less something that is new and more latent failure in our independency management that is now really being effectively exploited. I think the tooling, I don't know whether it's the AI. I mean, the AI has tooling to exploit security. It's obvious that this is a huge accelerator for security, for security exploits, and for kind of like for that aspect of the craft, the dark side of the craft. But it's also, this has always been here. It's just that we've been too slow, or it's been, there's been enough friction. There's been enough friction to kind of slow us down from this being a real problem. Things are accelerating, and I want it to stop. So be careful out there, folks. Run your tests in a container, far away. Get a dedicated laptop.
Everything.
Get a dedicated laptop in a Faraday cage.
Yeah, that's right. Air gap.
Install your
Air gap
node
everything.
package.
Air gap it all.
I do like the idea of you connect to the hard line, you download your node package, and then air gap everything. Faraday cage. You're stripped naked. You're just sitting on the floor with a laptop.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. You never know. It could be. Yeah, your clothes are wired up with RFID tags. It's already inside you. We've traced the call. It's inside your sweatshirt. All right, moving on.
No need to worry about the future, folks. At some point, we'll all be dead. Except for Elon, of course.
Let's end on a happy note, folks. Anxiety, disconnection, despair. Over to you, Faz.
Yeah, I put this on the board. I think that I've been feeling a level of disconnection and anxiety for a bit now. And, that could be a lot of my own personal shit, but I think that but I'm seeing it more and more with, especially people in our industry worried about their jobs, and people at work, whether they be red-pilled or blue-pilled or whatever, in both cases are being, there's this anxiety of I'm not keeping up with all the stuff. I'm not keeping blah, 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 blah. And I think that's leading, and I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this to people at work, these AI, this is like the new social media. These AI tools are not encouraging. What's the word I'm looking for, Josh? They bias us to incentivizing. I guess incentivizing. They're incentivizing you not economically, but incentivizing your human brain to push you into less human connection, more isolation. And that is a perfect recipe for anxiety and depression. And it's not just in our industry. I would say it is society wide. So one of the things that I put on the board here that was shared by one of my colleagues at work, one of my friends, she shared this Wired article called "The Sad Wives of AI." Now, she shared it because it made her very angry that the premise was kind of bullshit. It does have a sexist slant to it. It's not great. There is some interesting things in it, though. But in general, it does talk about how in any relationship, there's a lot of people's personal relationships are being strained out there because one or both of the people are becoming more and more addicted to AI, and they're constantly on it. They're on it at dinner. They're on it at 2 a.m. They're on it,
Really?
And some of the data they reference this Harvard Business Review about gender usage, of AI. It's probably outdated because it's a year or so old, but it does sway towards males using it and becoming more addicted to it. And it also points out that they are probably, my insight is that if I'm a corporation building this thing and I can get more money from a certain group of people, I'm probably going to design it more for that group of people, right? If I know that I can hook them more and get more token usage out of those dumbasses. So that's just a natural consequence of
it's just situation. Business, folks.
It's just business, not personal.
It's just business. Yeah, for sure.
It's generally this isn't a healthy place to be for us as a society.
Wait, are you saying the tech industry right now in the middle of the greatest upheaval, an industry already grounded in and really geared towards the focused destruction of human attention. Not the destruction, the exploitation of human attention for financial gain. That throwing generative AI in the mix, a technology that completely is trained to recreate, predict, and engage as though a human would, who is designed to glaze, my friend, designed to capture, is a recipe for maybe a bad time. Is that what you're saying to me, Ian?
Yeah. It ain't great, man.
It's really bad. So you said a couple things that clicked with me. One, that feeling, it really is interesting because I do think that there's something to, we are in a confluence of at least 3 very contributory traumatic experiences just as human beings. But first off, like, hey, we're all human. We're just human beings. Yeah, I might be a tech legend, but at my core, I'm just a person. I'm just a simple man with simple needs. I want to be loved and I want to love. I want to hug every once in a while. But in technology, before AI, there is a fundamental foundational feeling and experience of FOMO, of I'm falling behind. Always you are, because it's true, you are always falling behind. Technology has been accelerating for quite a long time, and that sticks with software as it is a more abstract form of technology, but that's been accelerating. And yeah, guess what? You're always falling behind, and you cannot keep up, and no one can keep up, but it feels horrible. For those of you out there who are not software engineers, it really feels horrible. It has felt horrible. However, with AI... Whoa! It's like if you're feeling bad about getting left behind with like a little match, AI comes in with a big jerry can of jet fuel. So indeed, that's one. And so the second thing I think is attention economics. It is, if social media has taught us anything, it is that big tech is dystopian, gives no and is happy to destroy humanity in pursuit of a buck.
There's something about it that I pointed this out to somebody last week, or because we were trying to do like a shared Claude project, and I was trying to like just ask it questions about like, is this the right way to do this? Are these the right tools? And it was like
asking Claude.
Yeah, asking Claude. And so it would always give you information back, but it ends every response with a question, because it's trying to keep you answering and keep you coming back. It never just says like, no, this is the answer.
You can, edit your system prompt so it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And I don't, so it's like you do have influence, but yeah, by default, these guys are all playing from the playbook of big tech, which is, like Meta and who are like any social media company and really almost any tech company. They're selling ads and it's about engagement. And so that is a really effective, powerful recipe for making money. So you've got kind of like just the inherent flop sweat of being a software engineer. You have the dystopian practices of the attention economy and just completely libertarian, amoral birds running all these companies. And then you have a lot of uncertainty. Like you sprinkle in a tremendous amount of uncertainty. Like we actually don't know what's going to happen. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like this is crazy technology. It is truly crazy technology. And lo and behold, that makes for a pretty bad time.
Yeah. The other thing they talk about, which it just touches on your
in
first
this article
point about, is that we all feel, and this is where the anxiety comes from. I think, right, is that for me, anyways, is the idea behind this technology is that we can do more with less, right? Like on paper. But what is actually happening is that it's created this, what economists call the ideal worker, which is just, you've got to be building all the time now, right? Because you can be always building. I can always have something building something, right? Yeah. And now there's like, so now what happens, which is like, and I think that this was so I switched, earlier I mentioned the skills, and I switched to this new thing called, it's just called Skills, but it's by this guy named Matt Pocock, I think is the last name. Anyways, he did this incredible talk. Oh yeah, okay, so you know him. And he, during one of his talks where the 2-hour talk where he was actually like live demonstrating how he uses these skills and what he built and stuff like that. There are these long periods where it's doing something, so he just like he answers questions and he like blah blah blah, and he asks the crowd, and he said, show of hands, how many people feel like they're working more and building more lately? And it was like everybody in the crowd was like this. Mm-hmm. And like that wasn't what was supposed to happen.
I mean, we're butting up against like larger social economic philosophies here in terms of labor and capital and who's benefiting and who benefits from productivity gains. And I think it's pretty evident that it's the capital holders, right? It's like we're still working a 40-hour work week or more. Like what the hell? Yeah. What the hell, you guys? I
was promised less.
I was promised like a 2-hour work week. I can't remember what The Economist was. Was it Keynes or one of these dipshits? But it was like, well, by 1974, man will only work for 5 minutes a week, and there will be economic success by the nature of didn't work out.
I said that
way.
today. I said that I was going back and forth with one of the guys at work because he's I'm not gonna call him fully red pill, but he's very gung ho about AI. But he's also the guy who's clearly he's having anxiety about it too, and he's in Poland, so like there's like he writes something and then I write something, and it's
you have a nice asynchronous
conversation going. But
sure.
I tried this tool that he was like, this thing's gonna be crazy, and I was like, and the tool like it didn't do what I thought it would do, and it asked some really dumb questions, and I was like, buddy, our jobs are safe. I don't think this is the thing. And the first thing he wrote back this morning was like, job safe. He's like, another day behind the keyboard.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to say is it doesn't help having, who are the leaders? Who are the leaders in government? Who are the leaders in industry? Who are the leaders in business? Who are kind of like helping us navigate this well? I don't see many or any.
Many?
Really.
Name one.
I don't see any, I guess. I think that like politicians or people in government, like it's really hard to even keep up with or understand what's vapor versus what's real. Mm-hmm. And the people, like certainly the people in the positions of technology leadership, and I do think that there's some truth to like it's economically not viable for them to not be all in and saying, yes, this is the future. This is like all going to work. And actually like one of the things that, I mean, once you start to dig into the economics of these deals, these multi-billion-dollar deals that are propping each other up and whatnot, they have to be like that. If anybody expresses doubt, it's like the house of cards collapses. So, but you end up having a lot of people in positions of authority who are like, engineering's over. Like, it's done. It's over. And that's also not helpful. And then you have and maybe we can close on a happy note.
Oh, wait, I do want to say one more thing about the article. Yeah. This is funny.
Sure.
It says, I should say, I didn't bother speaking to any of the actual husbands for this story. I'm sick of hearing from the men of AI. So many of us are. They have podcasts. I was like, f*** you.
Well, Faz,
no, but she's right. They do have podcasts and Senate hearings and magazine profiles and probably a group chat with the president.
No, I'm also sick of the men of AI, and of which we are too. Am I sick of us? No, God, no. We're great. We're great.
Never.
We're trying to like, you and I have talked about kind of what is the point of this podcast, and we're still folks. First off, thanks for watching and listening. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, share with your friends, and hey, if you feel like it, drop a comment. All right? We've had one comment on the entire episode, and I answered immediately. You will never get a turnaround like that in a world-shattering podcast, except for yelling at robots. That's how much we care. What does it all mean, Fuzz? Should we be anxious? Should we be disconnected? Should we be scared? Where do we go from here? What do we do with this?
Yeah. So actually, that's a good point. I did want to actually like talk through what can you do. There is a very good, albeit you want to talk about technical difficulties, albeit technically unsound talk at the some Linux thing that was in New York a while ago by the Primogen, where he just talks about what is the title of the talk is I Suck. And he's just talking about like, what is my value like in this environment? And it's really good. I would really encourage everyone to listen to it. It definitely made me feel better.
What about what qualities of the talk kind of connected or made you feel something?
Was that his anxiety and all of our anxiety, a lot of our anxieties, especially for the older hats in the room, is that my value doesn't come from being able to code. My value comes from being able to make good decisions and having made all the library of mistakes in my career to know why we do things the way we do them and why we shouldn't do things the way that sometimes these LLMs tell you to do stuff. He gave an example in the talk about some open, I don't know if it was an open source project, I can't remember what it was, but it's basically where it was like, there was a decision at some point in the project to fork Chromium. And he was like, there's no world in which that's a good idea.
Just fork it and rewrite it in Rust. No problem.
So anyways, but it seems it's a very personal talk and very like, I would highly encourage that. The other thing I would encourage people to do, which we've started to, or I want to do more of at work, is don't go off in the corner with the robot and try and work alone. Pair program, mob program, as much as you can. I think that there's value in that because for a lot of reasons. One, you maintain human connection and you get to work with other people. And that's honestly like the best part of my job is actually doing that. It's not getting the red test to green. And the other thing too is that my hesitation of letting the robots run wild and write code is a lot of like, it can get out of control very fast. And if I'm doing it on my own, I don't want to be the sole person responsible for any dumb mistakes it makes because I don't catch every mistake. I don't even catch every mistake that I make or that my teammates make. The whole point of having a team is to have multiple people with eyes on what you're doing so that you increase the chances of like less mistakes, right? And I think that doing it together and working together to synchronously build stuff with AI can actually, it might seem slower, but I think in the long term, it'll make things faster, of higher quality, and it'll help maintain the knowledge management in your teams. So those are my recommendations, and that's what I'm trying to do to not feel so shitty.
From my angle, one is like, just, I mean, it's horrible advice. Just calm down, man. Just chill. Calm the fuck down. This is more, so the more I live, I guess, maybe in this environment, but also doing this podcast has been pretty informative for me in terms of getting deeper into the space, really trying to understand and come to grips with what is real, what is not real, what do we know, what don't we know, yada, yada, yada. I've mentioned this before, like, it's not going to look like anyone says. Whatever happens is not going to look like what anyone says. And the bottlenecks are changing, but we still need people. We still need people to... So, like, the bottleneck is not lines of code anymore. We can generate 1 million lines of code and rewrite Bun and Rust instantly. Yeah. Knowing if that's a good decision, knowing the implications of that, knowing the technical implications, knowing how that changes over time, knowing how that fits into the thing, knowing whether it's worth the risk, knowing, like... all of those things, that's still necessary. And I think that it's going to be even more necessary, especially in an environment where we have these agents or these tools which are unreliable. I don't care what Anthropic says. These tools are extremely unreliable. Extremely unreliable. And unfortunately, they're designed in a way to assure us and reassure us that they know what they're doing. They don't. They don't know anything. They're unreliable prediction machines that emulate and appear like magic, and we just need to like work with that and accept that it's like that's not the end, that's the beginning of Dancing with Chaos Magic, my new book coming out next fall, Dancing with Chaos Magic, from the creators of the world famous Yelling at Robots podcast. Hot
Really,
tea, though.
guys,
It's-
don't write a book about any of this because it'll be obsolete in a couple weeks.
Well, I'm not going to write the book. I'm going to have the fucking agent do it. Come on. Of course. I mean, for fuck's sake. Like, look at the amount of slop that's going out into the world. It's like, nothing's going to change. Like, if anything, we're going to need people to dig us out of this hole we've been burying ourselves in. Like, now that's not going to be glorious work. This is not going to be glamorous work. But it is like, hang on and let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Folks, one thing you need to know. Foz and I have zero answers. We really just started this podcast as an outlet for our own deep, deep anxiety. Because if it's not obvious...
But
Foz
when
and I
the
know.
answers come, you'll hear it here first on Yelling at Robots.
On yellingatrobots.com.
.com.
I guess that's the show for today. Foz, any uplifting thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, I think we both just gave some uplifting thoughts. And I don't know why my voice got so high when I talked about that.
I think you're trying to convince yourself.
It is. That's what's happening.
Yeah. That's a wrap.
You just survived another episode of Yelling at Robots. Better luck next time.